Swadika, good morning and welcome to Newsline. I'm Chalapansa Narula. It's Monday, September 14th. Let's have a look at today's news. According to the Royal Household Bureau, His Majesty King Bhumibol Adulyadej's blood pressure has returned to normal despite a recent fever. The latest announcement by the Royal Household Bureau said the King's condition is improving steadily. Although the blood pressure is normal, the level of oxygen in the blood has dropped. His Majesty was admitted to Sirirat Hospital on September 3rd for a lung infection. Doctors found several types of bacteria in his left lungs. His Majesty has received antibiotics while food is given to His Majesty intravenously, according to the announcement. Doctors have also been administering to maintain the oxygen level in his blood, as the King is now going through a physical rehabilitation. Moving on to today's segment of Thailand Moves Forward, one Thai national has been confirmed dead after a giant crane fell on the Grand Mosque in Mecca, Saudi Arabia. According to the Thai Hajj Affairs Office, the death toll in Friday's crane collapse stands at 107, including one Thai national, while the number of injuries is said to be 237 people. The announcement also said 2 Thais who were earlier reported missing have now been found. Families of both persons have also been informed of the news. On Friday, a giant crane, which was believed to be brought down by high winds, pierced through the roof of the Grand Mosque, where worshippers circle the Kaaba, the black-clad cube towards which the world's 1.6 billion Muslims face to pray. Mecca is Islam's holiest site. Pilgrims from around the world have been converging on the city and the mosque for the annual Hajj pilgrimage, which starts on September 21st. Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha has urged Thai youngsters to join the upcoming One Young World Summit, which will be held in Bangkok this coming November. According to Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha, Bangkok is the first capital in Asia to have an honor to host the One Young World Summit, which is the world's largest gathering of young people from around the world. Around 1,500 delegates from 196 countries will be taking part in the event. The summit features workshops and debates joined by social think tanks, NGOs, forward-thinking organizations, as well as young talents from global and national companies. Among the guests is Mohammed Yunus, the founder of Grameen Bank and civil society leader. One Young World was founded in 2009 by David Jones and Kate Robertson. The objective of the summit is to provide a platform for socially conscious people and agencies to share their ideas and discuss solutions to the pressing issues. The summit will take place from November 24th till the 26th. Interested persons can log on to the website oneyoungworld.com or on Facebook, facebook.com/OYWBangkok for more information. Deputy Prime Minister Air Chief Marshal Prachin Chantong believed the power under Article 44 of the interim constitution would help accelerate the procedures to solve Thailand's substandard aviation problem as identified by ICAO. The Article 44, he explained, would modernize the organizational structure of Thailand's Civil Aviation Authority, as well as aviation manuals, regulations and laws. Some of the problems normally need years to be solved. Air Chief Marshal Prachin was confident in aviation expertise of the Command Center for Resolving Civil Aviation Issues, or CRCA, as it is directly under the NCPO command and led by Commander-in-Chief of the Air Force. Asked about the appointment of the 21-member Constitutional Drafting Committee, he said that Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha has prepared the name list. He also confirmed that the Prime Minister did have relevant information prepared and would finish the list within the September 22nd. Air Chief Marshal Prachin reiterated that the National Council for Peace and Order and the government itself are working for the best interest of the public. The commencement of Thailand-China double-track railway construction project is likely to face a delay, as the latest bilateral talks have found the project's value to be higher than the Thai government's original estimate. Both Thai and Chinese officials have yet to conclude on the commencement date of the standard gauge double-track railway project in the 11th to the 12th September meeting, as the project costs more than the ministry's estimate by 20 to 30%. Mr. Akom added that the calculation of expense and income, as well as the construction plan, had yet to be completed. Thailand and China signed a deal to co-invest in the standard gauge double-track railway linking Bangkok to Nong Khai and Gangkhoi to Maptaput. Both sides agreed to appoint a special purpose vehicle to take charge of the joint investment. A working group will be set up to work out on the proportion of the investment. Thai and Chinese officials will call another round of meeting in Beijing between the 27th till the 28th of October. Minister of Commerce Apiradi Tantraport inspected commodity prices at a market in Mueang district of Chiang Rai province and found no irregularity. The inspection was the first activity held outside of the capital. According to the minister, majority of vendors strictly followed the ministry's rule, clearly displaying the price tag and fairly pricing their products. She pointed out that, however, that the prices for seafood were rather high due to transportation cost. Most of the ready-made meals are priced at 20 to 30 baht a dish, the minister said, adding that the inspection is one of the ministry's policies to look after the low-income earners. Minister Apiridi said the inspection would continue until the end of this month, and subsequently a comprehensive report would be produced for each area. The transport company says it will carry out a survey of land plots in Pathum Thani province where a new northern bus terminal will be built. Acting Chief of the State-run Transport Company Limited, Noparat Karunyawanit, said officials on September 17th would start surveying different land plots to pick the most strategic one. Mr. Noparat disclosed that the State Railway of Thailand had given the transport company a piece of land in Bang Sue district for use as a transit station. The Transport Ministry earlier this year confirmed its decision to move the northern bus terminal to Rangsit area in Pathum Thani by 2017, so that the State Railway of Thailand can reclaim its land at the current bus terminal. The land has been set aside for the construction of an electric railway station. Meanwhile, Transport Company reported that its income over the past 8 months had dropped by 400 million baht, due mainly to low-cost airlines. However, the company believes the remaining holidays will enable its income to reach its target set, which is 4.9 billion baht. Minister of Agriculture and Cooperatives General Chachai Sarikanya would propose to the Cabinet on September 15th that all kinds of off-season farming be prohibited as the water shortage issue has become more serious. General Chachai estimated that the combined amount of water from various dams nationwide at the end of the rainy season on October 31st would be about 3.6 billion cubic meters. He firmly stated that the volume would not be enough for agricultural purposes. The minister would also propose the setting up of a national committee to address the issue. This committee would design projects for farmers who would be hired in supplementary occupations to compensate their loss of income from skipping off-season farming. He indicated that farmers had already foregone about 870,000 rai of seasonal rice farming this year and would likely skip about 15 million rai of off-season farming, which usually takes place from the 1st of November until the 30th of April. Minister Chachai said his ministry would soon discuss in detail the appropriate jobs for the farmers participating in the campaign. Moving on, the National Legislative Assembly, or NLA, has scheduled a day to discuss the impeachment of a former education minister. NLA President Pornphet Vichitcholachai has issued an order calling for a sitting on September 17th when all members of the legislature are set to acknowledge the decision by the Chief of the National Council for Peace and Order to revoke the police rank of former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra. Another urgent agenda set on that day is a retroactive impeachment of Somsak Prisananantakul, who was a former education minister when the Democrat Party-led government was in power. The impeachment was recommended by the National Anti-Corruption Commission for Mr. Somsak's alleged involvement in corruption. The NLA will also review a study on the strategy related to the preparation of Thai women for the start of the ASEAN Economic Community and the proposal to extend the time to deliberate the draft law on the promotion and the upholding of cultural heritage and wisdom. A vice rector of Thammasat University has been selected as a new judge of the Constitutional Court. The committee tasked with the selection of a new judge of the Constitutional Court has convened its second meeting to find the candidate to fill a vacancy which was once held by Kun Chalermpol Ek Uru, who has retired after turning 70 years old. After having spent over an hour to review the qualification of 10 persons, the selection committee has reached a majority vote to select Vice Rector of Thammasat University, Kun Nakharin Mektrairat, who was a former charter drafter, to be the new judge of the Constitutional Court. After this, the committee will have to present the selected name to the President of the National Legislative Assembly, who will bring the issue to deliberate the members of the legislature before an endorsement is struck. Moving on to our next news, the Ministry of Natural Resources and the Environment said that the campaign for plastic bag reduction has enjoyed a warm welcome, as seen in a huge drop in the number of plastic bags given out in one day. The Department of Environmental Quality Promotion reported that the plastic bag-free campaign, which got underway on the 15th of August, has helped participating stores reduce plastic bag use by nearly 2 million. In the campaign, participating stores refused to give plastic bags to shoppers on the 15th and the 30th, those days of each month. Customers are requested to bring cloth bags on these 2 days. 16 distributors, including CP All, Big C, The Mall, Central Group, and Foodland, are taking part in the project. The government is ready to intensify its campaign if it continues to show success. The non-profit organization Peace Road has long been aware of the difficulties that villagers living along the Thai-Laos and Thai-Cambodian borders are facing due to the concealed landmines left from wars in the past. The organization has just launched a project to help these people. We see more details in this report.
The local residents of Non Sung village in Nam Yuen district, Ubon Ratchathani, are delightful seeing a landmine survey project just launched by the non-profit Peace Road Organization, or PRO, which has been set up to care for the safety of people who live in the areas most at risk of landmines. The opening ceremony of this project was warmly welcomed by the villagers, who showed up in gesture of gratitude. In the past, some of them have lost their legs and some have lost loved ones.
ก็ภูมิใจแหละครับภูมิใจเพราะไอ้กลัวคนอื่นเขาไปโดนเขามั่งขนาดตั้งนานเนาะวันที่1 เมษายนยังโดนวันไอ้เดือนที่ผ่านมายังโดนอีกคนนึง
The PRO, chaired by Professor Dr. Ukrit Mongkonnawin, has been made possible by funds from the Japanese government, as well as support from Thailand's independent National Rule of Law Commission. They all have the same aim to see people able to live equally and peacefully without fear, a basic right for human beings. The PRO also seeks financial support from international humanitarian organizations, and it will not stop working on its demining projects until the last landmine in the country has been removed.
What we always seek to do is that if there are still mines left that we know of, we try to seek for funding and come in again in order to actually clear it, because the utmost expectation for us is for humanitarian purpose, that everybody will be able to walk in all areas of the world safe.
Under this newly launched Ubon Free Mine project, the landmine survey focuses on area SHA 48101, covering villages in Nam Yuen district. The project's 12-month operation will begin with recruiting and training staff for the survey and mine clearance operation. The tasks include raising the locals' awareness of how to protect themselves from landmines. When the project ends in October next year, we expect to see this area with less or no landmines left underground at all, and bigger smiles on the people's faces as they can then live a peaceful life with no more fear of landmines, the deadly hidden killers. For NBT World, I'm Wankawi Netikamjon.
Kun Wankawi. And that's it for Thailand Moves Forward. Coming up next, China's economic growth sputters in August. We'll be right back after these messages.
To maintain a strong nation, Thailand is promoting 12 core values for the good of the people. First among them, to uphold the three pillars, the nation, religion, and the monarchy.
Even if we don't see them, they are amongst us. And they're hungry. Slay your power-sucking monsters. Take their power away. Think when you plug.
Multiple perspectives, insightful commentary on Thailand with The Insider every Sunday morning at 10:30 on NBT and NBT World.
Welcome to ASEAN, a community comprised of 10 countries, each with its unique culture and history, now unifying to bring added prosperity to the region. For centuries, each country remained independent. But now we are coming together to compete in the 21st century globalized world. ASEAN is bringing together more than 600 million citizens and a total land area of 4.4 million square kilometers, and is providing economic opportunities, trade, travel, and new educational possibilities. The combined GDP of all 10 ASEAN countries comes to a total of $2.4 trillion, which means the ASEAN entity ranks amongst the world's major economic powers. The future is here. Welcome to ASEAN, the community of opportunities. The Southeast Asia region is now becoming one.
Welcome back. I'm Chalapansana Narula and you're watching Newsline. Mr. Nathawut Potisaro, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Thailand to Cambodia, on Saturday visited the permanent border crossing of Chong Sangam in Pusing District,ศรีสะเกษ to study the area and transport routes linking Thailand and Cambodia. His visit during September 10 till the 15th came as a preparatory step for the arrival of the ASEAN Economic Community at the end of this year. He had a meeting with Governor ofศรีสะเกษ Yuthana Wiriyakiti, and the Governor of Cambodia's Oda Mienche, as well as head of government units of both sides. At the meeting, they discussed and exchanged views about trade and tourism in Thai and Cambodian border provinces. The Thai ambassador and his delegation also used this chance to hold a mobile consular visit to exchange views with Thai nationals and entrepreneurs operating in Cambodia ahead of the AEC, which is to be officially opened in December 2015. Growth in China's investment and factory output missed forecasts in August, pointing to a further cooling in the world's second-largest economy that would likely prompt the government to roll out more support measures. The downbeat data came on the heels of weak trade and inflation readings, raising the chances that third-quarter economic growth may dip below 7% for the first time since the global crisis. Fears of a China-led global economic slowdown have roiled global markets in recent weeks, prompting speculation that the U.S. central bank may hold off on raising interest rates later this week. Some economists believe current growth is already much weaker than official data suggests. August power output, for example, was up just 1% year-on-year, and production of key industrial commodities such as steel and coal weakened. Moving on, German Interior Minister Thomas de Maizière said on Sunday that Germany had temporarily introduced controls along its border with Austria in an attempt to reduce the number of asylum seekers arriving in the country. Fleeing war and poverty in Syria and other parts of the Middle East and Africa have streamed into Germany in recent weeks. Police said around 16,000 migrants arrived in Munich between Saturday morning and Sunday afternoon. De Maizière said Germany would continue to stick to European and national guidelines on protecting refugees and stressed that Europe's Dublin rules, which require asylum seekers to apply in the first EU country they reach, continue to be valid. De Maizière said refugees needed to accept that they could not simply choose an EU member country to protect them, and he said this would also be the case if a European system for distributing them across the bloc is introduced. Israeli police raided the plaza outside Jerusalem's Al-Aqsa Mosque on Sunday in what they said was a bid to head off Palestinian attempts to disrupt visits by Jews and foreign tourists on the eve of the Jewish New Year. Police used tear gas and threw stun grenades towards Palestinian youths who barricaded themselves inside the mosque and hurled rocks and flares, a Reuters witness said. Israeli Public Security Minister Gilad Erdan in a statement said the Palestinian youngsters also had pipe bombs. There was no sign these had been detonated. No serious injuries were reported. Al-Aqsa official Radwan Amr said 32 of the mosque windows were completely or partially destroyed. A door was shattered and the carpet burned in 12 places. The Palestinian youths, Israeli police said in a statement, had intended to disrupt the routine of visits to the Temple Mount on the eve of Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, which began at sunset on Sunday. And that's all the time we have for today's edition of Newsline. So thank you very much for joining us. If you do have any suggestions, please feel free to write them to us. The email is newsline.nbt@gmail.com. Today we say goodbye with a 5-kilometer color run for charity in Switzerland. I'm Tulip Hansan Rula. Swadee Ka.